Okay, Alex? I want you to think about a place that is supposed to make you feel healthy and strong, but instead makes you feel like a clumsy, confused toddler who just wandered into the wrong building.
Oh, wow. That is a very specific and painful description. But I know exactly where you are talking about. The gym.
The gym, yes. Or more specifically, the group fitness class.
The group fitness class is a psychological torture chamber. Sophia. It is a room full of mirrors, spandex, and people who seem to know exactly what they are doing, while you're just trying to figure out which end of the dumbbell is the heavy part.
Laughs. I completely understand that. Gymtimidation is a very real thing. Even for native speakers. Walking into a new fitness studio for the first time is incredibly intimidating.
It is not just intimidating. It is linguistically confusing, because fitness instructors do not speak normal English. They speak in riddles. They use metaphors that make absolutely no sense when you're sweating and trying not to fall over.
Oh, I love this. Give me an example. What kind of riddles are we talking about?
Okay, so last month, I decided I needed to get in better shape. I work at a desk all day. My back hurts, and I thought, Alex, it is time to be a healthy, active adult. So I signed up for a trial class at a local fitness studio.
I love this. You took initiative. That is a huge step. What kind of class did you choose?
I wanted something that sounded gentle but effective. The schedule had a class called Flow and Restore. That sounded nice. It sounded like a spa treatment, not a workout. So I went. I wore my most comfortable clothes. I brought a water bottle. I was ready to flow.
Flow and Restore is usually a gentle yoga or stretching class. That is a very safe choice for a beginner.
That is what I thought, but when I walked into the studio, it was packed. Everyone was already on their mats, looking very serious and focused. The instructor was this incredibly fit woman with a microphone headset. She looked like she could bench, press a car.
The classic intimidating yoga instructor.
Exactly. She smiled at me and said, "Welcome, find a spot, grab a block, and let's find our edges today."
Okay. Grab a block is normal. Yoga blocks are very common. But find our edges?
Yes, find our edges. I stood there, holding my water bottle, looking around the room. I looked at the walls. I looked at the floor. I thought, what edge? Are we standing near a cliff? Is the floor sloped? I did not want to fall off an edge.
Laughs. Oh, Alex. No. In yoga, finding your edge means pushing yourself to the point of mild discomfort in a stretch, but not to the point of pain. It is a metaphor for your personal limit.
A metaphor. Why could she not just say, stretch until it feels a little tight, but do not hurt yourself? That is so much clearer, but no. I had to find my edge. So, I walked to the back of the room, stood as far away from the walls as possible, and just stood there, waiting for the edge to reveal itself.
You were playing it safe. I respect that. But I have a feeling that was not the only confusing moment in that class.
Oh, that was just the warm up. The real disaster happened about 20 minutes in. We were doing some kind of dynamic movement. The instructor got very excited. she said. All right, everyone. Drop down to your mats. We are going to do some mountain climbers. Let's climb that mountain.
Mountain climbers? Okay. That is a very common cardio exercise. You get into a plank position and bring your knees to your chest quickly, like you are running horizontally.
I did not know that. I had never heard the term mountain climbers in a fitness context. I thought it was a team building metaphor. I thought we were going to do some kind of trust exercise where we help each other climb an imaginary mountain.
Bursts into laughter. No!
Yes, so, while everyone else dropped to the floor and started frantically kicking their legs back and forth, I stayed standing. I looked at the instructor, and I said, very loudly, I do not see a mountain, and I do not have any climbing gear.
I am losing my mind. I am actually crying. You said that to the instructor?
I did with total, sincere confusion. I do not have any climbing gear. The music was loud, but she heard me. She stopped the music. The entire room stopped. 20 people in plank position looked up at me.
Oh, the horror. What did she say?
She walked over to me, looking very concerned, and said, Sir, it is just an exercise. You just move your legs fast on the floor, like you are running. And I felt my face turn completely red. I said, Oh, I thought it was a metaphor.
Wiping away tears. I thought it was a metaphor. Alex, that is top tier comedy. You were the only person in the room treating a high intensity cardio burst like a poetry reading.
I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. I dropped to the mat and started kicking my legs as fast as I could, just to prove that I understood the concept of running horizontally. But the damage was done. I was the guy who needed climbing gear for a floor exercise.
Okay. First of all, that is a hilarious story. Second of all, I promise you, everyone in that room forgot about it 5 minutes later. They were too busy trying to survive the mountain climbers.
Logically, I know that. But it highlights a real problem for language learners in fitness environments. The vocabulary is highly idiomatic and metaphorical. Find your edge. Mountain climbers, engage your core. Open your heart.
Open your heart. Yes, that one always sounds a little dramatic for a Tuesday evening stretch class.
Exactly. Engage your core is another one. I always thought it meant I had to suck in my stomach and hold my breath. So I would turn purple while trying to do a simple stretch. And the instructor would say, remember to breathe. Alex, and I would think, I cannot breathe. My core is engaged.
Laughs. Engaging your core just means gently tightening your abdominal muscles to support your spine. It does not mean holding your breath until you pass out. But this is a perfect example of why we need to talk about fitness vocabulary. Because if you do not know these common phrases, you will either feel lost, or you will end up asking for climbing gear.
Please, Sophia, give me the toolkit. How do I survive a group fitness class without sounding like I'm planning an expedition?
Okay, let's demystify this. The most common B1, B2 fitness phrases are actually quite logical once you know the context. Let's start with the one that caused the trauma. Mountain climbers.
It is an exercise where you run your knees to your chest while in a plank position. Got it. No actual mountains involved.
Exactly. Now, what about engage your core? As we said, it just means gently tighten your stomach muscles to protect your back. A great way to remember it is to imagine someone is about to poke you in the stomach, and you brace for it. That is engaging your core.
That is a very clear visual. I will brace for the poke, not hold my breath. What about find your edge?
Find your edge means finding that sweet spot in a stretch where you feel a good pull, but no sharp pain. If you want a simpler way to say it to yourself, just think. Stretch comfortably.
Stretch comfortably. I like that. It takes the drama out of it. What about when the instructor says, let's do some reps?
Ah, reps. That is short for repetitions. It just means how many times you do a specific movement. Do 10 reps of this squat means do the squat 10 times.
Okay, that one I actually knew, but I always thought it was pronounced reps.
Laughs. It is pronounced reps, like the short E in red. But reps is a very creative alternative. I might start using that.
Please do not. I have suffered enough. But what about the end of the class? The instructor always says something like, take it down a notch or bring it back to center.
Take it down a notch is a great idiom. It just means to reduce the intensity or the volume. If you're working really hard, and she says, take it down a notch, she wants you to slow down and make the movement easier.
And bring it back to center.
That usually means returning to a neutral, standing, or seated position to rest and reset your posture. It is a cue to stop the active movement and focus on your breathing.
Okay, this is incredibly helpful. I feel like I'm decoding a secret language. But Sophia, there is another part of the gym experience that terrifies me even more than the group classes.
Oh no! What is it?
The gym floor. The area with all the machines and the free weights.
Ah! The weight room. The ultimate arena of gym intimidation.
Yes, because in a class, the instructor tells you what to do. On the gym floor, you are on your own, and everyone looks like they know exactly what they are doing. I walk in, and I see a machine with 50 different pins and cables, and I have no idea how to sit on it, let alone use it.
That is a very common feeling. The weight room can look like the cockpit of an airplane if you have never used the equipment before.
Exactly. And I am too proud to ask for help. I feel like if I ask, how does this machine work? The giant guy lifting weights next to me will judge me. He will think, this guy cannot even sit on the leg press.
I hear this so often. The fear of judgment keeps so many people from getting the help they need. But Alex, I want to challenge that thought right now. Do you think the giant guy lifting weights is actually judging you?
In my head, yes. He is looking at me, shaking his head, wondering how I survived childhood.
I promise you, he is not. Most people in the gym are wearing headphones, looking in the mirror, and thinking about their own workout. They are not paying attention to you. And the ones who do pay attention are usually the gym staff, whose actual job is to help you.
That is a good point. But how do I ask for help without sounding completely clueless?
You use a simple, polite, and confident formula. You do not need to apologize for being a beginner. You just ask a direct question. For example, "Excuse me? I am new to this machine. Could you show me how to set it up?"
Could you show me how to set it up? That sounds very professional. It does not sound like, I have no idea what this is.
Exactly. It shows that you are proactive and willing to learn. Another great phrase is, "Do you mind if I work in with you?"
Work in with you. What does that mean?
That is classic gym etiquette. It means you're asking to share the machine. When someone is resting between their sets, you do your set, and then they do theirs. It is a very efficient and polite way to use popular equipment.
Do you mind if I work in with you? I like that. It is a great phrase to know. But what if I'm the one using the machine, and someone asks to work in, but I am not ready to share yet?
Then you set a polite boundary. You can say, "Sure, I just have 2 more sets," and then it is all yours.
I just have 2 more sets. That is perfect. It is friendly, but it protects your workout.
Exactly. You're being a good gym citizen. Now, since we are on the topic of gym etiquette and the pressure of the weight room, I want to try something with you. A little role play.
Oh no. I knew this was coming. My imaginary muscles are already tense.
It will be fun. I promise. And it is great practice. I'm going to be a friendly, experienced gym goer who is using the cable machine. You want to use it, but you do not know how to adjust the weight pin. You're going to ask me for help politely, and then ask to work in. Ready?
Okay. I am ready. No climbing gear. No metaphors. Just a normal human, asking a normal question.
Great. Shifts posture. Pretends to adjust a machine. Looking focused.
Clears throat. Approaches politely. Excuse me. Hi. I am new to this machine, and I am not quite sure how to adjust the weight. Could you show me how to set it up?
Turns around. Smiles warmly. Oh, absolutely. It is super easy. You just pull this pin out and move it to the number you want. This is 50 pounds.
Ah, I see. Pull the pin. Move it to the number. That makes sense. Thank you so much. Also, do you mind if I work in with you when you are done with your set?
Breaks character. Smiling widely. Oh, Alex, that was absolutely flawless.
Really? It felt a little bit formal, but I wanted to be polite.
It was perfect. You were direct. You were polite. And you used the exact right gym terminology. Work in. Set. Adjust the weight. You did not apologize for being new. You just asked for the information you needed. That is how confident adults communicate.
It feels much safer to have a script like that. When I'm nervous, I either stay completely silent and walk away, or I try to figure it out myself and end up pulling the wrong lever and making a loud clanking noise.
Laughs. The loud clanking noise is a universal gym experience. We have all been there. But having a simple phrase in your back pocket prevents the clanking noise and the embarrassment.
That is true. But Sophia, I have to be honest. All of this gym anxiety, it is exhausting.
I hear you. Say more about that.
Well, there is this constant pressure to be good at everything. At work, I am a senior developer. I know my stuff. I am confident. But the moment I step into a fitness class or a weight room, I am a complete beginner. And as an adult, especially an adult learning a second language, being a beginner feels incredibly vulnerable.
That is such a profound and valid feeling. We spend so much of our adult lives building competence and expertise. We want to be good at our jobs, good at managing our homes, good at communicating. So when we try something new, like a fitness class, and we suddenly do not know the basic vocabulary or how to use the equipment, it feels like a blow to our ego.
Exactly. You feel like you're regressing? You think, I am a grown man. Why do I not know what a rep is?
Because you have never needed to know, it is a highly specific subculture with its own language. Being a beginner at the gym does not make you less intelligent. It just means you're trying something new. And trying something new, especially in a second language, is incredibly brave.
That is a really nice way to look at it. I usually just focus on the awkwardness of the moment. Like the time I tried to use the treadmill, and I did not know how to stop it. So I just had to jump off the back while it was still moving at full speed.
Bursts into laughter. Oh, Alex. No, you jumped off a moving treadmill?
I did. The instructor had said, cool down and step off. But I thought she meant at the end of the class. I did not realize the machine had a quick stop button, so I just panicked, lifted my legs, and let the belt carry me to the back, where I hopped off like a cowboy dismounting a wild horse.
I am wheezing. I am actually crying. Did anyone see you?
The entire front row of the spin class saw me. The instructor just stared at me and said, well, that is one way to cool down.
One way to cool down. That is amazing. But you know what? You survived. You did not get hurt. You got off the machine. And you probably learned exactly where the quick stop button is for next time.
I did. I now know that the big red clip is very important.
The safety clip? Yes. That is a great example of how we learn. We make a funny, slightly embarrassing mistake, and we never make it again. That is how language and cultural fluency are built. Not through perfection, but through trial, error, and a lot of deep breathing.
I suppose so. I just need to remember that my worth is not determined by my ability to do mountain climbers or operate a treadmill.
Exactly. Your worth is determined by the fact that you keep showing up. You keep trying, and that is incredibly admirable. Now, since we are experts on gym survival, I want to do a quick rapid fire scenario game. Fitness edition. I will give you a situation, and you give me your immediate, natural response. No overthinking.
Okay. My core is engaged, and I have left my climbing gear at home. Hit me.
Scenario 1. You are on the gym floor, and someone is sitting on a machine you want to use, but they are just looking at their phone and not working out.
I would walk up and say, excuse me, are you using this machine? Or are you finished?
Perfect. Direct. Polite, and it gives them a chance to either start their set or get up. Scenario 2. The instructor in a class says, "Let's burn out on this last set." And you are already exhausted.
I would slow down my movements and say to myself, I am taking it down a notch. I am doing my best.
Excellent. Taking it down a notch is the perfect internal mantra. You do not have to push to the point of injury. Scenario 3. You finish your workout and you realize you forgot your gym lock for the locker room.
I would go to the front desk and say, Hi, I forgot my lock. Do you sell them here? Or is there a temporary locker I can use?
Yes, proactive and solution oriented. Scenario 4. Someone asks you, "How long have you been working out?" And you have only been going for 2 weeks.
I would smile and say, I am fairly new, just a couple of weeks. I'm still learning the ropes.
Gasps, learning the ropes. Alex. That is a fantastic idiom. You used it perfectly.
Really? I thought it meant I was literally holding ropes.
Lavs, no. Learning the ropes means you are learning the basics of a new activity or job. It comes from sailing, where new sailors had to learn how to handle all the ropes on a ship. But today, it just means you are a beginner getting the hang of things.
That is amazing. I used an idiom correctly by accident. I feel like I have leveled up.
You absolutely have. That was a flawless, natural, B2 level response. You should be very proud of that.
I am. I am definitely writing learning the ropes on my gym water bottle.
Please do. And you know, Alex, this entire conversation really highlights something important about the language learning journey. We focus so much on the big milestones. Passing a test, getting a promotion, having a fluent conversation. But the real magic happens in these tiny, awkward, everyday moments.
The tiny moments.
Yes. The moment you ask for help with a machine. The moment you realize mountain climbers is an exercise, not a hiking trip. The moment you confidently say, "Do you mind if I work in with you?" Those are the moments where you are actually living the language. You're not just studying it, you are using it to navigate your life.
That is a really beautiful way to look at it. I usually just think of those moments as embarrassing failures. But they are actually proof of progress.
Exactly. Every awkward question is a victory. Every misunderstood metaphor is a lesson learned. You are building your confidence, one rep at a time.
One rep at a time. I like that. I'm going to use that.
You should. Now, to wrap up our gym survival guide, I have to ask, are you going to go back to that flow and restore class?
Laughs. You know what? Sophia. Yes. I am. But next time, I'm going to stand in the back. I am going to breathe. And if the instructor says, find your edge, I am just going to stretch comfortably and ignore the metaphor.
That is the perfect strategy. Stretch comfortably. Ignore the metaphors. And absolutely no climbing gear.
Deal. Thank you. Sophia. This conversation was exactly what I needed. I feel so much more confident about walking into the gym and not feeling like an alien.
I'm so glad to hear that, Alex. And to all our listeners out there, if you feel anxious about the gym or trying a new fitness class in English, remember this: it is okay to be a beginner. It is okay to ask for help. And mountain climbers will never, ever require actual hiking boots.
And if you ever forget how to stop the treadmill, just remember, the big red clip is your best friend. Do not dismount like a cowboy.
Laughs, exactly. We will see you all next time. Keep your core engaged, your questions polite. And bye, Alex.
Bye, Sophia.